you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're joining me from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You can be among the first to receive it. Then go to the comment section at all times. Leave your comment, drop your contribution. If you have suggestions, make it out there. If you have any criticism, put it down on the comment section. It will make us to get better, presenting you a better program.
Every mistake we make, bam, we bring Biafra close. So it doesn't matter what anybody does.
Bam.
When Chukwu Okeke is directing the affairs of things, you see, that is why some people, when we talk about autopilot, some people just limit it to IPOB. The autopilot spirit, autopilot spirit is in everything in that zoo today. Everything in that contraption today.
Yes.
Every one of them is in the autopilot spirit is possessing everybody. Everything is, including those Janjaweed, including the Fulanis, including the politicians. The spirit of autopilot possess everybody, and they will continue to make those mistakes. They will continue to make that blunder until they wake up and they will hear that Biafra is gone.
Exactly.
The spirit of autopilot is not only working in the family members of IPOB. It's not only working in the Biafrans alone. It's working in the life of every indigenous person. Look at what is happening in the zoo today. Look at what is happening.
Yes, it can.
The Biafran side, Biafra land is calm, waiting for the right time. Before then, every other place is on fire.
Of course.
People are agitated. People are even telling them that they don't want the election. Not even this time. It's not even Biafra. Other regions are saying that we don't want any election. We don't want it. Other regions are already telling. And even if to show you how powerful Chukwu Okeke is and how effective the spirit of autopilot is, look at the governor of Kaduna State. The governor of Kaduna State is there challenging the presidency, telling the presidency that if you change money, Kaduna State will continue to use their old money. He's telling Kaduna people, keep your old money, continue to use it, don't mind the federal government. Their court is saying different thing. The court is saying different thing. The presidency is saying different thing. Every single thing in that contraption called Zoological Republic is an autopilot.
Of course.
Where the difference lies now is that when Master Simon Ekpa, if you remember, when Master Simon Ekpa gave the prophecy of autopilot, Master Simon Ekpa told these very sacked members of Department of Sabotua, these people that we sacked, Master Simon Ekpa told them, a time will come when the struggle of Biafra will be autopiloted. Pray that Chukwu Okeke will give you the wisdom and knowledge to be able to manage that period. But instead of them going to pray, they were busy commanding and controlling. They were busy fixing themselves in positions where they can give order. They were busy about money. Today, so many people cannot be able to manage that spirit of autopilot in them, in that Zoological Republic. And when you cannot be able to manage it, it will push you. It will push you to the extent that you begin to work for Biafra unknowingly. That is what is happening today. The spirit of autopilot is pushing people to begin to work for the actualization of Biafra unknowingly. The only thing our spokesperson, Master Samuel Ekpa, need to do is just give the order. Speak the word. When you speak the word, you see people from different regions. They will begin to act based on the word. They will begin to act. And there is no two ways about it. All he has to do is to open his mouth and speak the word. Once you speak the word, you see people begin to act based on that your word. Chukwu Okeke will breathe into it. That is why you see, just as Mazen Nandekano, all his prophecy coming to pass, the same thing is happening to Master Simon Ekpa.
Of course.
When Master Simon Ekpa tell you that in this February, before the ending of February, if you don't believe in Biafra, you will believe by force.
Green light.
You will see the green light clear in February. And now he has already told them, that we are going to drag every one of you into Biafra, whether you like it or not. And some of them are thinking, how is he going to drag us? How is he going to do it? How is he going to take us into Biafra? But how he's going to do it is going to happen like a miracle. Just like Mazen Nandekano said, that the coming of Biafra will be the last miracle on the planet Earth. Mazen Nandekano said, Biafra will come in such a way that no man will take the glory. When you look at it, you say, it is only God. When you look at it, you say, it's only God. And that is where we are headed. People don't pay attention. That is why we are coming online on a daily basis to remind people where we are coming from and where we are headed. It is important that we come online and remind you where we are coming from. Because there are so many people that just started paying attention to this very struggle from the kidnapping of Mazen Nandekano. There are people who started paying attention from the kidnapping of Mazen Nandekano. And there are some of us who started listening to him from 2015, from the first kidnap. I personally, I began to follow the IPOB and begin to make my meaningful contribution on IPOB from the first kidnap of Mazen Nandekano, from first arrest, 2015, up to date. I have been following. And there are some other people who claim to have been following Mazen Nandekano even from 2011. So these are stages. In stage by stage, when you join, you listen to people who are there before you and get some information and make use of information. I'm not telling you to obey them when they are telling you what is wrong. You need to listen, open up your heart, and then put one or two together and begin to get the answers to the questions you are asking. That is why today, promoting Mazi Simon Ekpa or talking about him is not a problem for me. I don't have a doubt about him or what he says. When I call Mazi Simon Ekpa the disciple of Mazen Nandekano, I have no doubt within me. It's not a mistake. Nobody sent me, nobody paid me to do that. I am doing it because I see what he's doing. When I compare the things he's doing with what Mazen Nandekano have said in the past and what Mazen Nandekano have done, I have no reason to doubt him. And with the present situation that we are in, with the present situation, when it has become evident that this is the only man all eyes are focused on, all the enemies of Biafra, all the enemies of freedom, they have all channeled all their attack on him. Go to different platforms, various platforms, they are there. The only topic they have is Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Simon Ekpa this, Mazi Simon Ekpa that, Mazi Simon Ekpa this. Some of them have even issued the ransom on his head. Some have issued ransom on his head. Ask me, what crime has he committed? And to show how criminal-minded they are, this is a man who is legal in his country where he is. A man who is residing in a country legally. A politician in that country. Somebody who is not hiding. Somebody whom the country knows his identity. Somebody who has served in their military. It is a reserve military. He is not somebody that is hidden. And you are here issuing ransom from his head for somebody to go and kidnap him or harm him or do what? Something. They are issuing ransom on his head boldly and openly before the whole world for a freedom fighter. And they think it's okay. That very ransom they issue on his head speaks volume. It speaks volume. And you think, even if Mazi Simon Ekpa have committed any crime, you think that Finnish government will be so foolish to hand him over to you, to kill him. Even if Mazi Simon Ekpa has committed any crime, you think that the Finnish government will hand over their own citizen to you to harm him. It's only a foolish government like the United Kingdom that will do that. Only a heartless Western country will hand over their citizen to Nigeria for any kind of judgment or whatever. Only a heartless country like UK will do that. With all the things we are seeing today that is playing out, all the information that is available, with all the things we are seeing, with the way we have seen how corrupt Nigeria is, and yet you have the boldness to come out and speak. Mazi Simon Ekpa said no election, and all hell break loose. He said sit at home. All hell break loose. Sit at home itself is a legitimate way of making a political statement. Sit at home is a legitimate way of making a political statement, including the no election. When you don't participate in the election, it is a legitimate and right way to also register your political view. Some people don't get it. They say he's truncating political system. He's truncating their fake democracy. When you don't participate in an election, it's also a legitimate way of making a political statement, a strong political statement to tell the world that the contraption that is holding you have lost legitimacy. Sit at home is a political and legitimate way to register your anger towards what is happening around you and in you. And look at these people. I don't know, is it that they don't know about it, or they know about it and they decide to play along with a different thing altogether? The people who are telling you of law, obeying rule of law and order. People who are telling you about law and order. You see, some of them will come to the conventional media and they'll be talking about Finland, that Finland should respect the law, respect the rule of law. They should know that the human right, even people have their right, individuals have their right, man have their right, woman have their right, that where your right stop is where other person's right. You should not use your right to harm another person. These same people who are making this argument on the national TV will not come and make an argument. Why must a country stand against a judgment passed in its Supreme Court? Why must a country rise against a president, stand against a judgment passed by its appeal court? A high court in that very country passed a judgment, a unanimous judgment, a unanimous decision by 3 judges in a court, and the government disobeyed it. That action alone is enough for Biafrans to say they will not be part of any political thing in that very contraption. That action alone, the fact that they are holding our Supreme Amazon Nnamdi Kanu and has refused to let him go against the court order, that action of the government alone is enough for the Biafran to say, hey, we don't want to be part of this political system anymore. We don't want to participate in the election anymore. It is more than enough. For the fact that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have been granted freedom and they refuse to leave him, it is more than enough for Biafrans to sit at home as many times as they want to. And let me tell you, the no election and they sit at home, they are all a political statement. If anybody is telling you otherwise, that person must be insane. When we say we don't want to participate in the election, it is a strong political statement to tell you that you have lost legitimacy in Biafra land. When we say we are going to sit at home, it is a political statement to tell you that you have no right, you have no right anymore to dictate for us, because you are lawless. A lawless country, a country where judges will unanimously say, let this man go, and yet you continue to hold him against his will. And then he wants us to begin to clap for you. He wants us to sit back and pretend all is well. That is what you're expecting from the Biafrans, to pretend and fold their hands and say, yeah, all is well. All is not well. And we will continue to protest. We will continue to speak. We will continue to cry out. And we will continue to make our voice heard. It doesn't matter what you do. We have taken our stance. We have taken our stance that from 23 to 28, we are going to be indoor. And every Biafran all over the world, mainly in Biafran land, must cooperate to this very time. We must cooperate. As it stands today, it is not only Biafrans that are saying that they will not participate in the election. It is not only Biafrans. We have seen videos that are a man emanating in the social media. But you know how criminal-minded this very zoological republic is. They have changed their media, that the media can never, ever report facts. Never. Nigerian media, they will never report the side of the masses. They are always in the side of the government. They show you what the government wants you to see. Just like the story I just told you. They will come and print one lie and make it fact and begin to push it around. Could you imagine somebody coming on a national TV to begin to argue that Mazi Simon Ekpa is not on the same page with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Somebody will come on a national TV and begin to argue that Mazi Simon Ekpa is not on the same page with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even when they know that Mazi Simon Ekpa demand is that release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and then I'm off the hook. I'm off. Mazi Simon Ekpa have said it time and time again. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. As soon as you release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he takes charge. Whatever decision or agreement you reach with him stands. This has always been the word of Mazi Simon Ekpa. An open check to them. They threw it to the dustbin and they turn around and they begin to tell you that, oh, he is fighting for his own. He's fighting selfishly. IPOB said he's not part of them. Which IPOB are you talking about? Which IPOB? Is it the same IPOB that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established? Or you are talking about your own section of IPOB that you have formed? Because that's what you know Nigeria for. Once they want to infiltrate an organization, they will form their own in parallel to the original one. Every organization you see, mainly in Biafra, they always have the version of the government. Are you talking about Ohanes and Igbo? Ohanes and Igbo have the Nigerian Caliphate version. They have the Nigerian Caliphate faction, Ohanes and Igbo. Even though the main one are not doing the right thing, still they have another faction which is working completely for the Zoological Republic. Look at the security outfit they formed, the Bubago. Today, Bubago has become a weapon. It has become a terrorist group that was legitimized to attack the Biafran people. That's what they are turned to. Our ESN, a sound security outfit that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established, they went and formed their own through the Department of Sabotua. They sacked members of IPOB. They went and formed their own, and they named it the Dead Men Squad. Sponsored by the federal government. And we saw a video that came out, an audio that came out when they were boasting that they are going to bring 25 healers from Abuja. We saw the audio. Every one of you here said, if you didn't see the audio, that means you are not in touch. An audio emerged where somebody was boasting that they're going to bring 25 healers from Abuja to give to their ESN. Ask me, which ESN are you going to sponsor from Abuja with 25 healers? Is that still the same ESN that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established? Of course not. It can never be. It can never be. And that is how they operate. Once they see you making waves, they will produce the parallel one to begin to follow. They did the same thing in NSAS. During the time of NSAS, while the youths of Nigeria were protesting, while the youths of Nigeria were protesting for SARS to be disbanded, they created another faction to infiltrate that main one, and they began to sing a different song. And before you know it, they unleash mayhem on people. They begin to attack. They blackmail the original intention. And before you know it, they use that one as an excuse to bring in their military and begin to take the life of innocent people. They have played this game over and over again. They play it over and over again. And the whole world is watching. And when they play this game, their media will follow that same line of thought they have. They will begin to change narrative, use their media to change the narrative. And before you know it, every media will key into it. You and I were here when the media begin to blackmail the people who come out for MSAS, saying that they were looting, they were doing this, they were destroying houses, they created a different narrative against people who were fighting for a legitimate right, and their media supported them. The CNN came on board and released the real story. All hell break loose. They even went to the extent of sanctioning the